everybody, it's Topwater Johnny here, and in this bass fishing video here, we're going to be doing a lure review and recommendation for my intermediate topwater bass fishermen. So the lures I'm going to talk about in this video are for those that are not a beginner, but someone who has experience with topwater lures, but is still looking to learn, still looking to discover new topwater lures that they can fish with and enjoy. So if that's you, it's time for us to go. Whoa, there we go. Yeah! Woo, holy cow, folks. Topwater Johnny here, man. This is what we came here for. Look at that. Get back here. Look at that right there. That's the kind of beast that we came here for. There we go. Woo! And that one hooked. Hey everybody, it's Topwater Johnny here. I want to welcome you to the next video. Please be sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit that notification. Be sure to hit that like button, because in this video, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about lures I would recommend to my intermediate topwater bass fishermen. Now, when it comes to topwater bass fishing, as a beginner, there are a few lures that you've seen in my previous video, if you want to check them out, that I know will catch you fish on topwater. But as you continue to grow and gain more confidence in fishing topwater, more and more lures will get exposed to you that are topwater related. And because of that, what I want to do is share with you some topwater lures that are really not for beginners, but more for that person in the middle who's ready to take that next step up in their topwater bass fishing. So these lures are definitely lures that some of you may already have, but then also there may be some that you've never tried before. And as an intermediate topwater bass fisherman, my goal is to help you stretch and really push yourself to become an even more effective topwater bass fisherman. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and get started with the lures that I recommend for topwater bass fishermen who are intermediates. So let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and start here. And our first lure up here that I would recommend for that intermediate topwater bass fisherman, you're already used to whopper ploppers, but I want to stretch you here a little bit. And I want you to take a look and consider the Chasebaits Drunken Mullet right here. This is one that you can definitely fish on braid here. Big stout hooks, as you can see, but notice it's got a double blade here in the back, so creates a lot more water action. It's also a jointed bait here as well, so you're getting a lot of real great tail kick and movement in the back. Fins for dispersion of water as well here, and this one really does stretch you. And this would be your open water topwater lure. So if you're fishing in open water along edges, but mostly open water, when you see them chasing bait out far or off of the bank, this is the kind of lure that you would want to be throwing at them. And you can run it fast or slow, but keep it in open water and also fish it on braid. So I just wanted to start us off with one lure that you guys may not be fishing with, and that is the Chasebaits Drunken Mullet. All right, our next lure up, we're going to slow it down just a little bit now. We've had our open water lure where we can burn it and move it a lot faster. Next lure up, it's a little bit slower, can go through that cover, and that is the TECKEL Sprinker frog right here. Once again, we've got that great kicking action with the boot tail in the back. We've got big stout hooks here, but now we're able to take this across cover and really cross cover really fast if we want, or slowly across cover. Also, once again, you're going to fish this on braided line right here. You can use a spinning cast or a bait caster to throw this one as well. I normally throw this on a 7-foot rod with about 40-pound to 50-pound braid, and I really throw it right into the cover, right into the junk. And I will reel it. Sometimes I reel it fast through there. Other times I'll just kind of reel it slow, stop right where there are pockets to see if they'll come up and strike it. So this lure is your next one down from, you got your high-speed one lure, and this is the next one down. And this is that TECKEL Sprinker frog. All right, our next lure up, we're going to slow it down just a little bit. Now we're going to go a little bit subsurface, and this is the Buzz Jet JR by Deps right here. And as you can see, it's got a big, strong front bill on here. So this one is a wake bait here now, and it's got a propeller in the back. So you are getting that movement on top, but you're getting a lot more a lot more subsurface action to really call up those fish. This is an open water lure. I still actually fish this with braid, but you could fish it with monofilament or even fluorocarbon if you really wanted to. But this also is a great top water lure to attract those fish. So like if they're hiding in the cover and it's water above it, like a couple feet of water above, then you can throw this right above them. Creates a lot of noise, a lot of disturbance, a lot of action. As you can see right here, I've actually got on there some very unique hooks right there. Instead of the traditional hooks, those are those trapper hooks right there made in the treble format. And this lure definitely is one that will stretch you. So if you're not fishing weight bait, check out the Deps Buzz Jet JR. All right, our next lure up. Now we're moving into the pop and pause type of lures, but here's a hybrid that I would really recommend that you check out. And it is the Savage Gear Prop Walker 100 here. And what makes this one so unique, it's a walking bait, as you can see, and it also spits water. But look right here. It's got the propeller in the back here. So this part actually dislodges, but I can actually take it here, seal it back on again here. And now it's just a pure walking bait right here. But if I really want to create a little bit more disturbance, a little bit more noise to get them to come up and notice it, I dislodge it, cast it out there, and then boom. Now I'm really able to have the best of both worlds. I've got that propeller noise, but also I've got the popping as well to help draw those bass up from deep in the cover. I'm fishing braid with this one as well. As you can see, I added actually a feather hook to the back here to create a little bit more striking, so the bass can strike at something. But this right here, another lure that will really stretch that intermediate topwater bass fisherman, because now it's all about adapting your style to fit the situation based on the lure that you're using. So this is the Savage Gear Prop Walker 100. All right. And in keeping in that popping arena, everybody should have one of these right here. Now you can buy a lot of different poppers, but everyone I recommend that's an intermediate should have at least one Megabass PopMax popper. This is like truly one of the best poppers on the marketplace here. Big open mouth right here. And if you notice right here, when you're popping it, it actually allows water to disperse through it, which creates a bubble trail, which creates a lot of disturbance on top as well. Big round belly here. As you can see, I've added trapper hooks to it at the feather tail in the back here. A lot of great action, a lot of great movement here. This one right here for sure, fishing on braid right here. Notice where the lip, where you tie on is at the top. So that really does give it a lot of popping action here. I'm fishing 40 to 50 pound braid with this right here. Got it on a 7-foot rod bait caster. And I'm just throwing it either out in the middle of the water, popping it, bringing it back in, or I'm fishing along the angles and the edges of the water of the bank. Angles and edges is really where I'm putting this one at. It will work in open water great, but I'm looking at for angles and edges, especially if you're a bank fisherman. Angles and edges, that's where this one excels. And if you're an intermediate topwater fisherman, you should consider having definitely a Megabass PopMax popper in your arsenal. All right, our next lure up. Now this is where we really start to stretch ourselves here. Now we're going to move into some lures that are a little bit, that will stretch you because they're just a little bit different. And the first one that I'm going to recommend for that intermediate fisherman topwater is the Micro POMPADOUR. Now we're getting into the crawler baits right now. Crawler baits. Crawler baits are huge in Japan, but they're an awesome way to fish topwater. A lot of people do not fish crawlers, so that's one I want you to consider. Or I want you to think about by Megabass, the hover crawler right here. This has the cicada bug look to it right here. And I actually added a treble hook to the back here. So you tie on to the back, and actually this lure will crawl back and forth like this right here through the water column. You got that noise right there, that noise rattle right there, single hook right here, and has that crawling mechanism right here. So this one right here, it will stretch you because it's called the hover craft. And this was by Megabass right here. Also, like I said before, you've got the Pompadour, and it comes in the bigger versions as well. But when you first start using crawler baits, I think smaller is better. So here it is once again. Here's actually the crawler bait right here. And it's the Pompadour, and it's in the actual Micro Pompadour version right here. I added a feather tail to the back of it. It has a treble there. As you can see, it has a treble in the front of it as well here. And this lure definitely will stretch you to be a better topwater fisherman, because this gives the bass something different to look at. Each one of these, when you see these, they are chasing bugs. They're chasing insects. They're chasing little things on top of the water that are scurrying, and it's a nice bite-sized amount for them to pursue and to chase after. And I will fish this on spinning tackle or bait casting. I've always got it on braid, and I throw it toward the cover and edges areas once again, and just slowly crawl it back toward me here, and just hold and wait for that hit, because this is very exciting. So these are your two lures here: the hover crawler by Megabass right here, and the micro pompadour. All right. Okay, now that we have our crawler baits and our poppers, we got to have a frog. The one that I'm recommending is the 13 Fishing Trash Panda right here. Another great one. Put it on braid right here. I love how it has that stencil right here, but this one definitely big, strong, as you can see right there, big, strong, stout hooks right here. Great walk the dog action right here. This one definitely throw right up into that cover area and really be able to get this thing through there really nice and easy. A lot of times when it comes to topwater fishing and frog fishing, it takes time to get good at throwing frogs. And one thing about having a lure like this is it really does help you improve your hookup ratio because of how its overall design is very aerodynamic. The hooks actually sit there nice and flush, so you're really able to get deep into that cover. And when those bass hit it, there is a lot of hook exposed. So you're really going to have a great hook set with this one here as well. So definitely I would recommend this one to my intermediate topwater fishermen, the 13 Fishing Trash Panda. All right. Okay, and then the final two lures are really my soft plastics that you throw on top of cover and just let sit there, or you can even run them across heavy cover, whether it's heavy grass, heavy mat. I'm still going to use braid on these lures. It might be just a little bit lighter braid, like a 20-pound braid here. First one that I recommend for my intermediates to try out, because it will stretch you, is the Lunkerhunt Spider right here. I've got a video on this right here, the Lunkerhunt Spider. This one will stretch you because it's a little bit different when you're out there fishing this one, because you gotta let those bass hit it. And notice there's not a lot of hook, but if you really set and hold, you have a really great opportunity to lock them down on this lure right here. And a lot of people used to fish it because it was really popular, but this is really a good one to stretch you, to really get yourself into fishing with insects and soft plastics that are more insect related. It'll stretch you here as an intermediate topwater fisherman. And you'll miss a few in the beginning, but you'll get better, and this will actually improve you when you're fishing with your frogs. So this will make you better for when you're fishing with your frogs. Another one is the Rock Hog here. This is one I featured in a video before, the Rock Hog. Another great one right here. I fish it weedless, as you can see here on the Eagle Claw hook here, running right across the top. Lots of great kicking action right here. The Rock Hog is another great lure that can be converted into a topwater bait, and that's how I fish it. I fish it on spinning tackle with 40-pound braid, throw it out and just start reeling it in, and it starts to get on top of the water. It starts to kick. Now you can go down to 30 or 20 pound if you want. You can even fish it monofilament if you want, but it has such great action. The appendages disperse a lot of water, and it really does allow you to trigger those bass in that grass, in that heavy cover. So once again, the two that I recommend here when it comes to soft plastics and really fishing slow, if you want to fish slow, is the Lunkerhunt Spider right here and the Megabass Rock Hog. All right. Okay, everybody, here they are. First one up is the Chasebaits Drunken Mullet, the TECKEL Sprinker Frog. The next one up here is the Deps Buzz Jet JR. The next one up, the Savage Gear Prop Walker 100, the Megabass PopMax, the 13 Fishing Trash Panda, the Micro Pompadour, the Hover Crawler by Megabass, the Lunkerhunt Spider, and the Megabass Rock Hog right here. And these are our lures that I would recommend to intermediate topwater bass fishermen. Well, I hope you enjoyed our review and look at the lures that I would recommend for intermediate topwater bass fisherman here. And every lure that I suggested and recommended, you should be able to go into my video box here, my description box, and there should be a link that you can click on and go over and order it. So, and I do receive a commission if you decide to order any of these lures through my links in my description box, just so that I'm fully transparent there. But each one of these lures truly is a challenge, but also is a lot of fun to fish. I've got quite a few videos on all of these lures here that I've actually fished them and caught fish on it, but it took me a little bit of time to get used to them and to get comfortable with them. And so if you're an intermediate topwater fisherman, that's where you're at right now. So you've got some definite skills at topwater fishing, but it's time to stretch. It's time for you to stretch and try some new and more interesting lures here, because here's what will happen. The more you fish these more unique, different lures, the better you'll be when situations occur and they're not biting what you normally want to fish with. See, every one of us has a comfort bait, but when that comfort bait or that confidence bait isn't working, we've got to adapt. And by experimenting with these lures, this will help you to adapt to situations so that you decide, so that when it gets tough, you can switch up and try something different. So that's why I want to recommend those to you, everyone here. Now, once again, these are the lures. All the lure links are in the description box. If you found value out of what I've been talking about here and you want to support the channel, there's definitely a join button right there on the screen. Hit the join button. That allows you to support the channel here so that we continue on doing what we're doing. So I just want to let everybody know that as well. Also, coming up in a week or so here, we'll do one which is called the Topwater Bass Fishing Lures for Advance. And when I mean advance, I'm talking about people that have been doing topwater for a long time, but it's time for them to stretch even more. So I'm going to have some really unusual and interesting looking lures for my advanced topwater bass fishermen to challenge them to try them out. I'm not saying that I am the ultimate authority on topwater, but there have been some lures that have tested me and challenged me to become even better. And so for my advanced topwater fishermen, that's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to challenge you to be better at what you're already doing by trying some unique and unusual topwater lures that will really push you to see how good you can become. So once again, I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for subscribing to the channel. Please leave comments below, your thoughts about these lures, your feelings about these lures, and we will see you in the next video here. So once again, this is Topwater Johnny saying that phrase. Keep your line tight, because when they hit those topwater lures, especially any of the lures I mentioned today, it's going to be a big bite. I'll see you in the next video.